This team. They've lost it. Any sort of identity that they had is gone. You look at the identity of this team last year. What was it? Well, yes, they gave up leads, but they could outscore teams by a mile and still find a way to come back and win. But right now, they're giving up leads. And they can't score. That's why they're losing. I'm speechless right now. I honestly thought this team had it today. I wanted to believe in them. Everyone yelling and screaming at Mike Babcock to make line changes. Nothing. He keeps the same lines to start the game. No goals in the first period. Nothing really in the beginning of the second. Then he switches things around, and then Connor Brown scores his breakaway goal, his second goal in 2 games, 12th of the year. Zach Hyman gets the dang assist, and then what? Not even a minute later, Frederic Gauthier bangs in a rebound, and the Leafs got the 2-0 lead. Freddie Anderson's playing great. The Leafs got a 2-0 lead. They hang in there, and they have the 2-0 lead after 2. They're playing great. And then in the third period, I don't know what happens. Very early, a minute 33 in, Mitch Marner decides to skate up the middle of the... he goes behind the net and tries to go right up the middle of the ice with the puck. Instead, Nolan Patrick strips it of him, and a quick shot catches Freddie Anderson off guard. It goes 5-hole. It's a 2-1 game. We're not even 2 minutes into the third. Not even 2 minutes after that. Well, Leafs on the power play. Let's get something going. Oh no, 2-on-1 the other way. Wayne Simmons shorthanded goal. It's a 2-2 game. You've got to be kidding me. I don't know if it's confidence. I don't know if it's just the lack of identity right now. But this team has lost all sense of their way. So everybody yelling and screaming at Babcock in the second period saying, see, this is what we were telling you to change up the lines. Well, those new lines also costed us those 2 goals as well. Except the one he kept, the Marner JVR Bozak line, or however you want to say it, gave up that first goal, and then the shorthanded goal. And the Leafs, as it's going lately, it's 2-2, it's okay, it's still a tie game. They get robbed. How many times? Like 5 or 6 times the rest of the period? They could have been up 5-2 at some point. But no, Neuwirth turns into Carey Price of a few years ago, where he's stopping everything in their grandmother, and the Leafs can't beat him. And then they get countless opportunities. You know, we saw in the first 2 periods, the Leafs not allowing the Philadelphia Flyers to get any sustained pressure. And after the 2-2 tie, there were, 2 or 3 opportunities where they had a minute or 2 minutes in the Leafs zone looking like they're on a power play. Freddie Anderson bailing the team out left and right. And then we get into overtime, and everybody's criticizing Babcock in the last game for putting Kadri out there to start. We're all like, oh, Austin Matthews is your best player. He should be out there first. I agree. So, what do we see to start this overtime? Austin Matthews out there. 18 seconds in with Austin Matthews on the ice. 2-on-1 the other way. Travis Konechny over to Sean Couturier. Overtime winner, and the Leafs blow another point. It's getting old now. It's a joke. Look, I thought we were done with the whole lead blowing in last year. The team, the first half of the year, was doing great at holding leads. Coming into this game, they were 15-1-1 with a lead heading into the third period. Yeah, well, it's 15-1-2 now. And you know what? 15-1-2. Those 2 overtime losses has happened in the last 4 games. Not to mention you blew a lead against St. Louis, a 1-0 lead in the third period. It's getting old. The Flyers, you know what? I got to give them credit. They never quit. They kept firing pucks at Freddie Anderson. He was doing great. They got a couple bounces. They caught Mitch Marner sleeping, and they took advantage of Leafs' mistakes. But it's sickening as a Leaf fan watching this go down. Watching your goalie flop around like crazy, making sporadic huge save after huge save, and watching your team do nothing about it. It's like when they scored that 2-1 goal, the Leafs crawled in their hole and died. Because then the shorthanded goal, I mean, my goodness. That's a joke. And after that, don't even get me started, they looked lost. I don't know what it is. We can't say, oh, defense sucks. Look, the defense, I mean, yeah, the quality of opportunities were big. But they gave up a ton of opportunities as well. We just couldn't bury. The Leafs' goal scoring has been shriveled up to nothing. Even with Babcock mixing up the lines and everything, the Leafs just could not bury. You look at late in that third period, Patty Marleau, golden opportunity on the 2-on-1. But, again, an unbelievable save, a highlight reel save for Michael Neuwirth to keep the game tied at 2. This was why all our holes of blowing leads were, I mean, they weren't covered up last year, but it looked better because you scored enough goals to come back. I remember one game last year against the Bruins. I think we had a 4-1 lead. We blew it. They tied it. We scored to make it 5-4. They scored to tie it 5-5. Then we go ahead 6-5 and won it. That's not happening right now. The Leafs can't score more than 3 goals. And the one time they did that, they gave up 4 to the Ottawa Senators. It's brutal. Watching your goalie do what he does, and your offense just cannot bury. You could say it's luck. You could also say Freddie Gautier's goal was luck. But what you got to do with a 2-0 lead heading into the third period, I don't care how many scoring chances the Leafs had in the third period. It should never have been a 2-2 game. Mitch Marner goes up the side on the boards or passes it to somebody along the boards. That goal's not in the net. The Leafs, look, picture that power play. Morgan Rielly was the only guy back. That means 4 guys were below the hash marks, or at least at the hash marks. 4 guys. And JVR's shot gets blocked, and here we go, and they tie it. It's the stupid mental mistakes. You see 3 guys deep, 1 guy should stay high to cover for him. But no, you all 4 go deep, shot gets blocked, everyone's got to now turn around, but it's too late because they're already on a rush. And Freddie Anderson, no chance. It's sickening. I'm not saying something has to change, but this team has to wake up. It's plain and simple. Right now, you're not outscoring teams, so you got to find other ways to win, like holding a third period lead. 3 of your last 4 games, you've blown leads. Columbus, 2-0 in the third period, and you lose in overtime. Ottawa, you had that game, but because you told too many opportunities. You just can't bury. St. Louis, you're up 1-0 with a minute to go. Nope, they score 51 seconds left. Today, you got that 2-0 lead going into the third period. A very fast goal in the third period. I'm like, oh boy, this is quite scary. And then a stupid shorthanded goal, and then an overtime loss. We're getting tired of it. I'm sick of it. I know you guys are. I thought getting on the road would be good for this team, and it looked great through the first 2 periods, and then they just collapsed and burned. But next up for this team, and this is something you got to look at and say, okay, you're playing an Ottawa Senators team who is not playing good at all. Last time you played them, like I just said, a ton of opportunities, you couldn't bury enough, but you gave up 4 goals. You're in Ottawa now. It's probably going to be dominated by most Leaf fans, but that's just the way she goes. Look, you got to find a way to get a win Saturday night. It's Saturday night in Canada. It's hockey night in Canada. I mean, you're in Ottawa. Battle of Ontario. You got to find a way to get a win. This team has to feel something. How about we get a lead in the first 2 periods and hold it? That would be great. All right? So you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you guys enjoyed this video, and just smack that like button if you guys enjoyed this video, because I don't even know what to say about this game. Subscribe if you guys haven't hit that subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below what you guys think of the game. What the heck happened? I want to hear your guys' opinion on what the heck just happened. And we'll talk to you guys tomorrow, Raptors edition, as they're welcoming in the San Antonio Spurs. Great thing today, Boston. The Celtics lost to the Philadelphia 76ers today. Cleveland won, but I mean, they're not really in our sights right now because they're behind us. We look ahead to Boston. They've got 12 losses. We have 13 losses. They've played 3 more games, I think it is, or something like that. But anywho, Leafs edition next. This is the big one. Leafs, Senators in Ottawa. It's probably going to be a battle of the Andersons, Craig and Freddie. 7 p.m. puck drop. Let's get a darn win. All right? I'm sick and tired of this stuff. We'll talk to you guys then.